Hey everybody, it took a while to get on. It's Judy Klock, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. I got to plug in my phone to make sure it doesn't die while we are doing our live. So I am coming to you tonight with a preview of my May workshop because we're going to be featuring the new Celebratory Sips product suite. So let me switch screens and show you what we're going to be working with. So the Celebratory Sips product suite, which will be available in May, includes the Cheers and Sips stamp set. Got that terrible light there. So it's got the 2 glasses, mint leaves, celery leaves, an olive, like berries, blackberries, orange or lime or lemon slice, strawberries, ice cubes, the umbrella, a cherry, like the swizzle stick or the stick for the olives, and a couple of just different sentiments. So these are the dies. These are the dies that everything cuts out. So it cuts out the 2 glasses, the umbrella, the ice cubes, all of the fruits and vegetables and leaves, and all of these pieces. So really the only thing it doesn't cut out are the sentiments, but all of the stamped images can be cut out using the dies. I believe there are 15 dies. Yep, there are 15 dies. So there they all are. Oh, and it's got one more that does kind of this funky, like sometimes when you go to get a drink, you get those fancy tumblers and they have like the metallic, I don't know, design on the outside. So it does, one die will do that. All right, let's take a look at what else is in this suite. It includes 2 embossing folders, the Glass and Gardens embossing folder. So this one is kind of looks like roses or some kind of floral. This is the glass. Okay, it's got that little kind of nice cut glass design. Then it comes with the gold striped mesh ribbon. Love this ribbon. It ties really beautifully. It's very pretty. Can you see that? It comes with the holographic resin dots. So those are kind of fun. And then it comes with the Celebratory Sips designer series paper. So again, you've got your patterns on one side and then more of a subtle tone on tone on the next. Like this one has the stripes, this one has all the fruits, and then you've got that beautiful secret C on the back. That is one of the new colors, as is Timid Tiger, Blackberry Bliss, Berry Burst, a couple of pinks. You got the new Darling Duckling cloud cover. So there's quite a bit to choose from. Okay, again, so kind of little geometric pattern. Got that on the back. Okay, so again, some pretty florals. So there's a really great green stripes, you know which one I like. And then, of course, all the different bottles and pitchers and glasses and things like that. And did I show that one? Where is that? Oh, so this one, the dies will also cut out these glasses, or you can fussy cut them, but you can cut out these with the dies. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to be making. So we're going to do 3 cards tonight, a little bit on the easy side. So here's number 1. Okay, it says Cheers to Us. That's that gorgeous Blackberry Bliss, and that's that new Strawberry Slush. Then we've got Cheers to You, which is the new Timid Tiger and Peach Pie combo there. So we've got a couple of strawberries on there. Then we've got our Berry Burst, and there's that glass embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that detail. It's kind of hard. Hi, Joan. How you doing tonight? And then we're just going to go ahead and make these 3 cards. So let's go ahead and get started with our first card. So we're going to have our Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to do most of our stamping tonight in Memento. So I'm going to take this out. We're going to stamp. We need a little, one of these little blackberries or black raspberries, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use a cherry. I'm stamping these 4 apart so I can then die cut them. And I want a strawberry. There's my strawberry. Okay. And we're going to color these really quickly with our blend. So for the strawberry, first I colored it. I think this is light, pretty, and pink. So I colored it first in light, pretty, and pink. right? Because I wanted to, I didn't want it to be so red, so I wanted to tone down a red. Then I took our, cover up that ink just for now. I took our light Poppy Parade and I just kind of went over it a little bit. Okay, and that just kind of helps tone down that really red tone. And then I took the Poppy Parade and I colored the cherry straight up. So there's our cherry. I took our Blackberry Bliss and I colored our berry, our little blackberry here. Okay, so this is easy. It's going to go fast. You know, when you have the blends, it's very easy to color. Okay, and they just cover so well. And then I took our, I think I have old olive, dark old olive. My old olives are kind of, I need new ones. These are kind of shot. So I'm just going to color the strawberry leaves in the dark old olive. All right, and then we're going to take the matching dies, and voila, when you cut them out, you are left with these little pieces, okay? I didn't want to waste too much time. We're going to do some die cutting later, but I didn't want to do all of it now. So we've got our little pieces. Now we're going to stamp on here. We want to stamp cheers. Okay, and I want to make sure I put this in the same way. So I did. So this is that to the point punch, and it can go either this way or this way. So for this card, we're going to have it go with the points on the left and the right. And we're going to stamp cheers to us. I think I did. Cheers to us. If I can find all my stamps. So I'm going to stamp the cheers kind of up here, kind of close to the top. And then I'm just going to go to us. If I could find it. I thought I put it out. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. Cheers to us. Okay. Some of these stamps are just so little. I mean, look at how little that is. That is a tiny, tiny stamp. Okay. So then we're going to close up our ink because you know I make a mess. Right now I have every year my mother and grandmother used to make Easter sweetbread for Easter morning. And today I whipped up a batch and it's on its second rise right now. So I'm pretty excited because tomorrow I have to go drop some off. So my sister and my niece and my daughter and son can all have a loaf for Easter morning. Okay, so we're going to put just a piece of basic white in there. This is our standard A2, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of basic white that's 5 1/4 by 4. Then I've got a piece of strawberry slush that's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and a piece of our designer series paper that's 4 by 3. We're going to go ahead and add that to our strawberry slush. I just thought these colors looked really well together. What do you think? Do you like the strawberry slush with the blackberry bliss? Let me know. Leave me a comment. You love that set. I know. I do too, Sheila. It's my May workshop. So be sure to sign up. Okay. So now we've got our center, like our focal piece. All right. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Because you know me, I like to have some. Oh, but before I do that, I almost forgot. I want to cut about, 8 to 10 inches, maybe 12 inches of ribbon. Okay, I'm not really very good. I just kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of my label. Then I'm going to kind of fold this so it's sort of like a figure 8, and it kind of looks like a bow, but it's not tied. And we're going to go ahead and add that to the back of our label. Okay, now here's what I do. I kind of put some dimensionals to help hold it in place. A little trick you can do to kind of hold it down. So you got to make sure you kind of get a little bit of the cardstock there, but otherwise it works pretty well to hold it down. All right, I think we're good. Now we're going to go ahead and take off our covers. Maybe they don't want to come off. All right. So we're going to see that one didn't stick. That's the problem. You got to make sure you kind of get it so it's a little bit of it's got to stick on the cardstock. Okay, let's see. Move this one around. Sorry, trying to put it in screen and make sure it's in screen. And all right, there we go. So now we've got cheers to us. Okay, I'm just going to kind of fix that, put that down right in the center. And then I'm going to use glue dots, which I have out somewhere. Here we go. All right, and I'm just going to use some glue dots to put my die cut fruit pieces onto my card front. All right, just these are like really hard to pick up. Okay, so we've got that. There we go. Put that one down there, and then we've got our little berry. Here we go. And that is our first card. So simple, but pretty. I don't like the way that ribbon, I screwed up the ribbon. Oh, well. So that's our first card. Okay, so very simple, but a nice little colorful card to do. Next, we've got this is Timid Tiger. This is one of the new in colors. Again, we've got 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of peach pie here that is 5 1/4 by 4. Basic white, 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. I've got a piece of our designer series paper that's 5 by 3 3/4. And then I punched out a label with the to the point punch. We're going to use that. And then we're also going to stamp and color sort of like the little small glass. So I've got some pieces of white here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and stamp this. Okay, we've got that. Then we want to stamp some strawberries, some more strawberries. We've already got one that we stamped and colored, so we'll use that one. I'm going to cut out 3 of them. All right. We've already got this one that we cut for the first card, so we'll go ahead and cut that one too. So before I cut, I want to color. We're going to color this with our light, pretty and pink Stampin' Blend. And we're going to go ahead and just, I like to kind of go along the outline, just to make sure that I can keep my ink in my lines. I'm just going to color about halfway up. I don't know about you, but I don't put too much wine in my glass. Maybe about half a glass, I guess, depending on how big the glass is. But I'm just going to figure it's about a half a glass of rosé. Put in as much wine as you want into your glass. You want half full, half empty, all the way full, 3/4 full. Totally up to you. All right, so we're going to stamp ice cubes in there. I know some people don't put ice cubes in wine. I get it. But you just made zucchini bread. I love zucchini bread. Have you ever done chocolate zucchini bread, Sheila? That is something that I think I would like. I've never tried it, but I might do it this year. Okay, so I've got that. So now we're going to pull in our mini Stamp Cut and Emboss. I've got to do some die cutting. Let's move that. Let's move that out of the way for now. Okay. Got our mini. Okay, now this one, I need the strawberry and the small wine glass die. So this is going to take us a little bit of time tonight. We're going to be together for a little bit tonight, but that's okay. We're all friends, right? We like to hang out with each other and have fun and talk to each other. At least I hope we do. Maybe not. We'll see. All right. So this is the 3M Post-it tape, right? It's very easy. And I just kind of, with the camera, it might be easier to just do this. Well, maybe not. All right. If I can move this up a little bit. Okay. So I take this and I just kind of put a little piece kind of over there just to kind of help hold that die in place. It just makes it a little bit easier. All right. And we can color the strawberries before or after. It's up to you. I'm going to color these after. Okay, here we go. And make our sandwich and put it through. All right, we got 2 more strawberries to cut for our little card. So who's cooking for Easter? I am cooking. My daughter wants a ham. My son and husband don't really like a ham. So I have to do something else besides. So I'm going to get like a very small ham, like very small. Just because the boys don't really like it, but Sam loves it. So she's making her cornbread. She wants to make cornbread. So I said, okay, because whatever anybody wants to make is fine with me. And then I made homemade cannolis. So I'm going to have homemade cannolis for dessert. I made them for on Tuesday because we were doing Italian night at the fire hall. So we had cannolis and manicotti and garlic bread, and it was very good, and people enjoyed it. Because Tuesday night is bingo night at Middletown Fire Hall. Well, Carol, we're so happy that you're here. Welcome. We love it when new people join us. We're a pretty fun crew, right? Sheila, are you still with me? And Joan, we're pretty fun, right? Trey, we like to have fun and laugh and joke around. And I just mailed out all the packages for my April workshop today, so people will be getting those. We're going to do it next Friday. It's usually the 3rd Friday of the month, but because this is Easter weekend, I pushed it back because I figured many people have company in, or they're traveling, or they just want to relax and spend time with their family. So we're doing it next week instead. But that's the beauty of this, is that when you schedule it, you can schedule it to suit what works for you and your family. All right, I'm going to put these back real quick. Just put them back so I don't lose them, because you know me, I lose stuff all the time. All right, let's quickly stamp and color and finish up our card. So this one I'm just going to, I know I did the 2 on this one, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to do the Poppy Parade. All right, and then we're just going to do that. We'll do both Poppy Parades, and we'll do our green on our little leaves. Oh my goodness, I think I need new Poppy Parade blends too. I can't complain. I've gotten many years out of these blends. So if I have to buy some new ones, it's all good. But how many have seen the new in colors? Do you like the new in colors? Do you have a favorite yet? Let me know. Let me know what your favorite new in color is. For me, it's a toss-up between Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, and Strawberry Slush. The other 2 are nice. They're okay. But out of those 3, I haven't decided yet which one is my favorite. All right. One more thing. Let's stamp. Now this one, we're going to have the points going up and down. We're going to stamp cheers again. And I was going to stamp cheers to you, but I don't have that one out. And I just stuck my fingers in the ink. This is what I do all the time, which is why I keep baby wipes handy, because I do make a mess. Do you hear babies in the background? I certainly hope not. You might hear the puppy. You mean the puppies? That's what you hear? Yeah. Trooper was wandering around somewhere. If that's what you mean by babies, then yes, you do hear my babies in the background. But as you mean like little infant babies, and we're in big trouble if you hear that. All right, so I got cheers, and I'm just going to use to us again because my to you is still in the box and it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we're good to go. So this one, I like this one because I call this the K fold because it looks kind of like a K, and my last name is Klock, so I'm doing it. So I'm going to call it what I want to call it. So there. All right, let me just move this stuff out of the way. All right, so now I want to cut a slit kind of right in the middle here, like midway on the long edge, and then 2 about the midpoint. So this is 5 inches. So I'm going to put this in at about 2.5 inches. Nope. Sorry. Yeah. So it's rewind, start again. I want to put it in about midpoint at the 3 3/4. So I want to go to about 1 7/8. No, I did it right the first time. Don't mind. Okay. Put it in at 2.5. Then we're going to slice it to about 1 7/8 of an inch. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but I put a piece of white paper so I could see those numbers a little bit easier. So I'm just going to cut this and go right down to about 1 5/8, right about there. Okay, we got that. So that puts a cut right in the middle of our DSP. We're going to fold this back. All right. And we're going to fold it back. Okay, and that exposes the other side of our paper. Now, if you want, you can put a little piece of tape or glue or whatever just to kind of help hold that down. Your call. You don't have to, because we're going to be putting other things on top of it that will also help hold it, but totally your call. All right, then we're just going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on here. All right. See, but I mean, it does kind of look a little bit like the letter K. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the K fold. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add this with some dimensionals. I'm just going to kind of put some on here. That should be good. All right. So I had to clean up my studio this week because I had my in-person BOGO sale, and it's still, I have to say, it's still relatively clean. So I'm pretty excited about that. Cancel. I don't know what they're talking about, why they wanted me to leave. Okay. So then we're going to take our coffee, not our coffee cup, our wine. I'm going to take one of my strawberries. I'm going to kind of cut it in, kind of cut up the middle. Okay, not too far up. And then I'm going to put, again, a glue dot on the back of 1/2 and that little slit. And we are going to slide this and put it kind of right there. All right, now I'm going to put this on here like this. Now this side is going to get Stampin' Seal. This side is going to get dimensionals, because remember, we put our label on dimensionals. So I have to make sure that it will be the same on the side that's not on the label. Okay, so there we go. Oh, it helps if you take the covers off. They stick better if they don't have the covers on them. That's a pro tip. All right, so now we've got that. Then we're just going to come here, and we have the rest of our strawberries, which I keep losing. And again, I'm just going to put these on with some glue dots. Glue dots are very handy for this type of little, I'm going to put that there. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll put that one. I don't know, where do we want to put that one? Maybe put it there. Okay. Then if you want to really jazz it up, you can come in with some Wink of Stella. Okay. And just kind of give your wine a little sparkle. Okay. And then we're going to add some of those holographic gems. If I can find them here. Oh, let's get that out of the way. Okay, and these can just go really anywhere you want them to go. There's no right or wrong way to put these on. There's 3 different sizes, so I'm going to use a big, a little, and a small. All right, and now that is card number 2. Oh, but you know what? We have to actually put it on the front of our card. Okay. This should have been done before I put all the stuff on the front of it, but mistakes were made. It's okay. It's been a long day. I'm tired. Been a long week. And then we'll put the piece of white on the inside. Now our second card is done. Ay, ay, ay. All right, and then moving on to our last card. This one we're going to do a lot of die cutting and coloring and some embossing. So let's go ahead and take a look. We've got Berry Burst, again, standard 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got 2 pieces of basic white at 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to put one on the inside. So let's take care of that now. Let's try not to screw this one up like I did. All right, there we go. Now, on this one, I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 2 inches by 5 1/4. I am going to go and add that to the left side of that piece of basic white. All right. There we go. Make sure your edges are even. There we go. Now I'm going to come in here with the glass embossing folder, which is this one, looks like cut glass. And I am going to put it so that it lines up, it butts right up against that Designer Series paper. And then we are going to put this through the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Now, because this is this is not a 3D embossing folder, we need plate number 1, a clear plate, or embossing folder, and a clear plate. Okay, so you need the full thing. All right, there we go. So now we've given a little bit of texture to the right side of that piece of paper. So now I had tried to do it earlier, and then without putting the Designer Series paper on first, I did not like the way it came out. So I tried it this way. I think either way is fine. It just depends upon what you prefer. I preferred to do it this way. I think it just worked better for me. And I just opened up this glue. My goodness. I haven't used it that much. Okay. I don't really use glue that often, but when I do an embossed piece, I find the liquid glue just works better. All right. And I've got a little bit up there. Okay. Wipe that off. Okay. All right, so we've got that. Then I have a piece of the berry burst that I punched out with that 2 3/8 of an inch circle punch. Now we need to stamp some elements. So we're going to stamp the tall glass. If I can find my ink that I moved, that went somewhere. Nope, right there. Why is it that you have things and then all of a sudden they move? I don't understand. Claudette's roommate. We have a friend on the West Coast, Claudette, who has a craft room gremlin that just goes around moving her stuff. And sometimes her little gremlin finds its way over to our neck of the woods, and we don't like that. We're like, Claudette, keep your gremlin in your neighborhood, because he comes over here, he moves all my stuff. I can't find it. Who else has the craft room gremlin? I'm going to do an orange slice, and then I'm going to do some celery leaves, and I'm going to stamp those in Old Olive on some lemon lime twist. So we've I think we've used just about every stamp. I didn't use the olive or the swizzle stick for this set, but I did make a card, and I'll show you it. It was what I like to call one of my experimental cards, meaning I never know what's going to happen, so I try it just because. Like, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try it. All right, one more. We're going to stamp cheers while we're at it. Let's get all of our stamping done. All right, and I'm going to stamp cheers. Maybe if I can find it again. All right, and this is just going to say cheers. That's all it's going to say. Cheers. And then while we have it out, let's go ahead and stick our ice cubes. Well, that fell down. Stick our ice cubes in our, is that like a highball glass? I don't know. Is that considered like a highball glass? I'm not really a drinker, so I don't really know. So if anybody knows if that's, I have like stemless wine glasses that look like that, but I don't know if it's any other kind of glass. All right, we've got a lot of die cutting to do. So we might have to do this in a couple of stages. Let's go. All right. Let's cut out our glasses. Speaking of glasses, I had to go to the eye doctor last week and I needed new glasses. So I got a pair of Pear eyewear. Have you seen the commercials for those where you can buy the toppers and change out the way your glasses look? So I'm so excited. I can't wait. Guess what color toppers I got? You'll never guess in a million years. Of course, I got green. But I'm just so excited. I can't wait to get them. And so I bought two when I was at the eye doctor because it was like two come with the, I guess the starter kit, so to speak. Then I came home and I got two more. And there's way more than I want. They had really cute ones for Easter, but I'm like, not really going to have the glasses in time for Easter. So, but I'm thinking 4th of July is coming up and Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'm just going to go, I think, a little crazy with the toppers. But how fun is that? Anyway, maybe next Thursday, maybe next Thursday, you'll see me with my new Pear eyewear. So they're the frames themselves, I couldn't think of the word, are just clear. So it'll be interesting to see how these toppers make them look. But I'm pretty excited, especially because I can't see anymore. I'm like, these glasses are, I didn't realize it's been since 2023 since the last time I went to the eye doctor. So it's been a bit. All right, we're going to cut out our celery leaves. And then we're going to cut out our orange slice. I'm going to do them together, but I'm going to put them on one at a time. All right. We've got our celery leaves. So these little scraps of paper are really good for little things like this, And again, this orange that I'm cutting the orange out of is the new Timid Tiger. Okay. It took me forever to try to figure out how to get this orange lined up right because it's not quite right. Okay, there we go. That should be good. All right. It's always, hold on. My orange slice moved. Even though I had the tape on it, it moved. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see if we can get it to go through without it moving. The whole table's moving. All right. There we go. Yay. Okay. Here we go. All right. We got our celery. That is now trash. But yeah, these little pieces, don't get rid of them because you never know when you want to do small die cuts. They're perfect. So keep them around. All right, let me just put my dies away because I don't want to lose them. I should take down my I have a magnetic tray and I do keep it around, but I don't usually bring it over to my workstation. I keep it at the die cutting station. So when I'm doing stuff like this, I should really think to move it over here. All right. We're kind of using everything for this. All right, so now let's color. I'm going to take our Poppy Parade. Right, we're going to color our Bloody Mary. I'm going to, again, kind of go down around the sides first to make sure. Right, come across the top. All right, let's see what we got. My knee is killing me. All the rain we had, my knee was really screaming this week. Feeling better today. But it was not a happy camper most of the week. Anybody else have knees or elbows? You can always tell what the weather's going to do based upon how it feels. I guess that's one of the benefits of getting older. Haha. But it certainly beats the alternative. So I will take a few aches and pains. All right, there we go. Just going to kind of top that off, kind of make it look somewhat even. Okay, we got that. I'm going to color in my wine glass. We're going to use a little sangria, a little blackberry bliss. I got two more that we're not going to make tonight, but I'm going to show you because these were the almost wers, kind of like when you have an idea and you're not really sure if it's going to work out. So you play around and you're like, that didn't really work. The interpretation from the vision in my brain to the actual end product is really not what I was expecting. All right, so once again, we're going to take our little orange here. We're going to cut kind of right up there to the center and do the same thing. We're going to put a glue dot on one half and kind of stick it on the rim of our glass. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same with our celery. We're going to put a glue dot on the front of our celery stalk. Okay, and then we're going to just kind of put that here in our Bloody Mary. All right, now we're going to put these onto our circle. All right, we're going to use some seal. Okay, we're going to stick that there. We're going to stick this one on. Okay, kind of got that one there. And that one's going to be a little bit off. That's fine. Now we're going to put these on dimensionals. So we're going to, we've got a lot. So we got to put some, like on the celery and all the bits and pieces that kind of hang off. Make sure everything stays where we want it to. Just one more. Okay. Got that. All right. All right, I'm going to put that there. We did our cheers, right? So we're going to just cut it here. I'm just going to cut it with a scissor. We're going to put it on our blackberry. I'm sorry, not blackberry bliss. This is berry burst. All right, I'm going to trim this again. And we're going to add this with some dimensionals. All right, and then we're going to finish up with a couple of holographic resin dots. I can't get this off. Why not? All right. Now I had it even with the bottom edge. Okay, there we go. And then I just came in and I took some of our, oh my goodness, our resin dots and just kind of put them anywhere I wanted. So that's not where I want it. Let's go up here somewhere. And then we got a small one. And again, there's 3 different sizes. So I just kind of put the 3 different sizes wherever I wanted. So those were our cards for tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this, this set. I really like it. Let me show you 2 different ones. This was the first one that I did. It's kind of the same design, but I did it in landscape as opposed to portrait. Wasn't really feeling these colors. I was trying to use the new Secret Sea and the new cloud cover, which I do like. And those colors are both in this DSP, but just this wasn't working for me. And then we have these new things called flip flaps that are really more for scrapbooking, but I really wanted to try to incorporate them into a card. So I was playing around today, and this is a flip flap. And so we have our card there, and then we open, you flip it up, and it says, "Cheers, let's celebrate." So that was just kind of a little fun thing just to see if I could do it. I did it. I don't like it, but I did it. So I can say I did it. And that's it. But these, this is the set that I'm featuring in my May workshop, which will be the 3rd weekend in May. I believe it's the 16th, 17th, 19th, around that time. I don't have it off the top of my head. But if you go to my Stamping with Crafty Klock Facebook page, you will see the events listed there, and you can register. I'm doing virtual on Friday evening, or I have an in-person on Saturday morning or in-person on Monday morning. So that is it for me. I wish you all a very lovely weekend. If you celebrate Easter, I wish you a very happy and blessed Easter. I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.